Focusing now on the EVM controversy. Opposition leaders have started chanting in unison that they don't believe that the EVMs are being guarded well, that they believe that there could be electoral malpractice, that they believe that the unused reserve EVMs are somehow being used by the government to push through BJP votes or to inflate BJP votes. There was a all-party meeting, there was a petition to the Election Commission as well. Opposition top guns from over 20 political parties met the poll panel and submitted a memorandum seeking verification of the VVPAT tally before the counting of the actual results. The opposition has been alleging tampering of EVMs before the counting of votes. Take a look.
The opposition has raised the heat further on EC, once questioning the trustworthiness of voting machines. First, a meeting was held by Andhra Pradesh CM Chandrababu Naidu of 21 opposition parties, including the Congress, TMC, TDP, DMK and NCP, among others. Then the delegation went knocking on the doors of the Election Commission. Submitting a memorandum, the opposition leaders demanded that VVPAT should be matched before the counting. In case there is a mismatch in VVPAT tally, the counting of the entire constituency should be done again. The BJP and its allies launched blistering counter-attack.
वो जीते तो ईवीएम ठीक है, अगर हमारे जीतने का अनुमान हो क्योंकि देश की जनता नरेंद्र मोदी जी को दोबारा देश का प्रधानमंत्री बना जाती है तो ईवीएम गड़बड़ है। इससे अधिक अस्तरहीन, बेबुनियाद और हास्यास्पद बात कोई हो नहीं सकती है।
आप पहले तो वो जो एक विधानसभा में 5 पोलिंग स्टेशन की जो 5 मशीनें गिनोगे, वो सबसे पहले गिनो, क्योंकि अगर उसमें गलती होगी तो फिर आप उस पूरी विधानसभा के वीवीपैट को गिनना चाहिए।
UPA ally and RLSP chief Upendra Kushwaha went a step further and virtually made a call to arms.
हम कहना चाहते हैं झंडा कर्पूर जी के पर्चेरों पर चलने वाले हम लोग हैं। अगर ऐसी कोई कोशिश हुई तो निश्चित रूप से हम लोगों से भी कहेंगे, महागठबंधन के तमाम साथियों से और बिहार की जनता से कि इस तरह की साजिश को रोकने के लिए हथियार भी उठाना हो तो उठाना चाहिए।
The opposition also raised concerns over multiple reports of alleged illegal transportation of EVMs in parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar.
उत्तर प्रदेश में जहां-जहां ईवीएम रखी गई हैं, वहां बहुत बड़ी धांधली हो रही है। हम लोगों ने कहा सेंट्रल फोर्सेस वहां पर लगाई जाएं, स्टेट यूपी की फोर्सेस नहीं लगाई जाएं।
Responding to opposition's charges, the Election Commission clarified these videos were of spare voting machines and had nothing to do with voting.
The leaders came out and said that time and again, ever since 2019 elections began, they have been pinpointing EVM malfunctioning. They also spoke about the recent spate of videos surfacing which clearly show people transporting EVMs from one end to the other. The Election Commission has taken the memorandum. The opposition party is now waiting for some concrete action to take place from the Election Commission. Ishwarya Paliwal reporting from New Delhi for India Today with camera person Rahul.
I remember very clearly what happened on the 6th day of December 2018 when India Today had put out the exit poll results for Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Telangana. This is long before the actual results came out, and at that time, whether it was a Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, the Jyotiraditya Scindia, the senior most leaders of the Congress didn't even feel the need to wait for the actual results. They loved the exit polls so much that they came on live on India Today. Our viewers would recall that. And also, nobody was questioning the veracity of the EVM process. Now, suddenly, when it appears that they're heading for imminent defeat, the EVM process is being questioned itself. Joining us on this broadcast, I want to introduce first S.Y. Qureshi, highly respected former Chief Election Commissioner. With us also Sanjay Jha, representing the Congress party. Gaurav Bhatia is from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and our poll pundits stay on with us. I want to go across to Sanjay Jha first. Sanjay, on the day that the exit poll numbers came out and when the final counting day happened on the 11th of December 2018, all the leaders from your party were happily coming on board, calling us and saying they want to come live, talking about how fantastic they had done and how this was a super victory. That time nobody was saying post polls are paid for by Narendra Modi or the EVMs are fixed. Now when you seem to be headed towards defeat, you're cribbing about the EVM process. You think the exit polls have been bought out to inflate Modi's chances. This sounds to me like a terrible loser's lament.
Not at all, Rahul. Let me just do a little flashback for you and the viewers in particular. We won Punjab, we formed a government in Karnataka, and we won the 3 states of Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. And have you noticed that despite that, there have been so many conversations which the Congress party and the opposition have taken to the Supreme Court on the EVM? Because our premise is very straightforward. India's democracy should never be questioned by any of its citizens. If today I vote for the Congress party and that vote goes to another party, or the EVM which should be properly maintained in a certain storage security, or there's any breaking of any protocol, I think it should concern us all. I think the democracy is in peril if the people of our country lose faith in the entire electoral process. The EVM is the last finish mile. And I can tell you, you saw that incident that happened in Haryana, where you had a polling agent who went and voted on behalf of a particular candidate,
no, so that's
person
true.
who went to vote.
Okay, so that's a fair point. But S.Y. Qureshi, here's my question to you. This is the world's biggest electoral exercise. To pick the one odd isolated instance, whether it involves reserved EVMs which haven't been used, or some EVM being found in some hotel room because it couldn't go to the storehouse where it had to be, or one polling agent entering some booth. Can this be enough to cast a doubt on the legitimacy of the electoral process itself, S.Y. Qureshi?
You know, such incidents have happened in the past also. There are stray incidents. Let's remember that we have 1 million polling stations and 1 million presiding officers, and 2, 3, 4, 5 of them default and they make a mistake and they are caught, and the Election Commission takes action, suspend them, file FIR, but that gives a bad name to the process. What has happened is that in the social media age, these videos spread very fast, and Election Commission does not have the luxury anymore of taking a long time to inquire and come back with the facts and disclose the fact to the nation. They have to be much faster to keep pace with the social media. That is what is doing damage to us now.
No, because if you see social media, for example, or if you see some of the commentary coming from political parties and coming from those who are not supporters of the BJP, they are making it seem as if EVMs have been fixed. One instance here, one instance there. Dekho, kahan se pada, ghar mein pada, hotel mein pada. Look at what's happening.
See, Rahul, first of all, in the earlier segment, I had said Mayawati on the deathbed. What I wanted to say was politics of Mayawati. I must clarify that. But coming to the EVMs, what has happened, Rahul, that after the exit polls and BJP is confident of winning more than 300 seats, they are looking for a reason. Why did they lose the election? They can't blame it on Rahul Gandhi, the dynastic ruler. So what do they say? EVMs have been tampered or they have been changed. But let me tell you what the Supreme Court says on this issue. The Supreme Court adjudicated. The viewers would like to know, this is the first Lok Sabha election where 100% EVM machines have been linked to the VVPAT. There was a suggestion from the Election Commission of India and a circular that one VVPAT machine in every assembly constituency should be matched to the EVM. The Supreme Court interfered and they said no, 5 VVPAT machines in every assembly constituency should be matched. So after that, there remains no doubt on this. Second, the Supreme Court came down heavily on the 21 political parties who were petitioner before the Supreme Court, that if you are to raise issues on the validity of the EVMs itself and VVPAT, why did you wait till December 2018 just before the Madhya Pradesh election? Why couldn't you come earlier? Second, you know, Delhi Aam Aadmi Party won 67 out of 70 seats, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and then, you know, also Punjab. EVMs are fine. This tokenism that we gave a complaint, what did you do after the complaint?
No, but the theory here seems to be
And one more thing, Rahul, which
that
is
the
very
December
relevant.
results, the opposition...
I would not have disturbed you, but this is very important. Regarding all these baseless allegations that are being made by the opposition, the Election Commission of India, and we have our differences with the Election Commission of India on how the polling was conducted in West Bengal, but the Election Commission of India has clearly said no EVM machines have been removed from the strong room, and there are 5 things that they have mentioned as checks to ensure that the EVMs can't leave the strong room. And one is very important.
No.
Representatives of the political party are free to be present 24/7 outside those rooms, which are also manned by the
But the ultimate
paramilitary
conspiracy theory now, Manisha Priyam, is that the opposition was allowed to win in December, so that when the BJP fixes the results in May, nobody can say that what happened, because if they'd won in December and they'd won now, people would have said fix kiya hua.
Okay, 3 things. What is the real complaint coming now from the parties? The real complaint coming is that on trucks, a lot of EVM machines are being taken. Now, the argument there is exactly what Gaurav is pointing out from here. These are, the reserve EVMs that are being taken from here and there. I think the EC could facilitate an inspection by the opposition parties, the matter could die there. On the bigger argument of some political parties saying, let's go back to the ballot era, I would like to say that the worst performers in the ballot era were states like Bihar, where elections were increasingly violent. It took a TN session to clean the electoral arena. I, with my own eyes, seen that entire ballot boxes would be put in kuas, or ink would be put in them.
But the level of fixing at that time was much higher. We've actually reformed and improved Sandeep Shastriya voting process.
One very critical distinction. Manipulation of EVMs, misuse of EVMs. I don't think that crisis is with the manipulation of EVMs. Because then the question comes, when you win, you are not saying anything. When you lose, you are saying something. Manipulation of EVMs, I don't think there should be a question mark on that, because there is sufficient proof to show that when a vote is registered, VVPAT, all that is taken care of. I think some of the issues coming up here is not about manipulation of EVM. It is about the misuse of the machines. The reserve question.
No, but the reserve machines are not used, so it's not as if they've been counted.
So it's not a question of manipulation of the machine. I think nobody is, the right people are not questioning the credibility.
Okay, let S.Y. Qureshi explain that. Here's the charge that there are a whole bunch of reserved machines which are supposed to be the CRPF, guarded by them. They are being taken out from the storerooms. They are being replaced by machines where voters have actually voted, and therefore the BJP is trying to fix it. You've run elections, Mr. Qureshi. Is that at all possible? What are the safeguards against this? Is it possible that the actual voting machines get replaced by reserve machines?
It's not possible, because the polled machines were brought back and they were stored in the strong room. The strong rooms were locked and sealed. The seals were signed by all the candidates or their agents. There is a 3-tier security outside the strong room. There are CCTV cameras inside and outside the strong room. The people are encouraged to come and sleep outside these places to keep an eye. In that situation, for a machine to be replaced is out of the question. But in any case, what are these machines floating around? That is a question which needs to be answered, and Election Commission is in a best position to answer it. The rule is that when the election poll is over, the machines which have been used and the reserved machines which have not been used, they all have to be deposited at the same time.
No, but Sanjay Jha, what we must remember, and I was speaking to Sunil Arora, the Chief Election Commissioner, he said, look at the percentage of such cases. It's 0.04%. So even if the worst of what is being said is true and there's no adequate explanation, it's 0.04. Compare this, as Manisha Priyam says, with what was happening during the actual ballot days, when the level of fixing was so high. We've actually improved the process so much, and the opposition does great disservice to the Indian electoral process when you raise these questions.
Rahul, let me tell you, when a former president of India, who's also been a very seasoned political campaigner for the Congress party for decades, when he says that the Election Commission needs to reduce any iota of doubt, I think we need to take it with necessary gravitas. You know, the Election Commission head statement on percentages, you know, when you are running an election which is on a machine, the logical question is, why should there be an error, right? It's not manual. So there should be error-free. Now you can't have
an election. Like 100 graphics are being fired during the show. One of them could go wrong. It doesn't mean that error was deliberate or that the graphics are fixed. Just one of the machines went wrong. It can happen with this live show, Sanjay Jha. One of these graphics can be wrong. Are you going to say, okay, India Today is fake, they don't know how to do their job, EVMs have been bought out, they don't work? That's a bizarre explanation.
No, I'm not. Rahul, I'm not saying that. But let's assume hypothetically that all of us are voters, the panelists and me and all of us are voters in a particular EVM. Now, supposing 5 of us vote for X party, 3 of us for another, but all 8 votes get counted for one. I mean, that's not just a mathematical error.
This may have happened in the one odd booth. But this, Gaurav Bhatia, is the question the BJP needs to answer.
It can't be
that whenever there is some garbad, the garbad seems to favor you. Aisa kyun hota hai?
First, let us understand what we are discussing. See, tampering of a machine is different from malfunctioning of a machine, and it was explained by the Chief Election Commissioner itself. During the assembly elections of the 5 states, there was malfunctioning of some machines which was immediately replaced also by the Election Commission. Do you know, Rahul, that there was a challenge given by the Election Commission of India to all political parties that please come forward and then show that these EVMs can be hacked, because initially Congress took this extreme stand that they are being hacked and they are being manipulated. None of these political parties turned up and couldn't show actually that these machines can be tampered. Second, London, Kapil Sibal was seen there. He also said once Saeed Shuja, he would turn up and he would show how an EVM can be hacked, but that person actually never showed that the Indian EVM can be hacked. The point here is the Supreme Court has deliberated. The Supreme Court has said that please, as a matter of extra check, have 5, VVPAT.
Now this is a question,
then why
Professor Mahesh Rangarajan, that needs to be asked. The opposition will say, okay, sometimes machines are going wrong. Why is it that nobody reports that he voted for the BJP and the vote went to the Congress? Nobody's come out and said that. That's a conspiracy theory, but how do you answer this?
No, that's for them to answer. I just want to say Madhya Pradesh, which had such a close election, one of the reasons the results were delayed is VVPAT matching was done. So I think we should give some credit to the people who are manning the system, or who are the personnel who are running the system. And VVPAT matching, as he has said, it has been explained by Supreme Court to increase the level. Now, whether it goes from 1 to 5%, let's go to 100%, we can debate. But malfunctioning and deliberate conspiracy rigging are different things, and I think we should be little conscious that India...
Final one, I'm out of time, very quickly.
In Dumariaganj, which is one of the places where there's been a complaint that these machines are being taken around, the collector there has responded saying the ECI guidelines does not mention that political parties need to be informed for movement of EVMs in strong room C and D. These strong rooms store reserved EVM machines and machines that malfunctioned or defective machines. So the entire fight is around this.
I want to quick point. The EC will meet tomorrow, Rahul, to decide whether the VVPAT machine should be counted first before electronic counting starts. What do you think will happen?
Rahul, there is a bit of a division in the Election Commission, what we are hearing on the final opinion. But Rahul, I wanted to make a point. When Modi won 2014, the first argument raised by the opposition was कि ये तो सिर्फ 31% vote से जीता है. When he started winning too many states, then the EVM issue came in.
Yeah.
You see, if in one state, each state, the chief electoral officer is actually a state government officer. If in UP it is being done by the UP officer and the state government is influencing, then the same can be held for Bengal, same for Orissa and other places. The point is, the state government has a man who is the CEO, manning, moving and doing everything to the electoral machines. So if you doubt UP, then it can be doubts about Bengal.
No, but this is a theory I don't believe in the least. I don't care for a moment who wins or loses. Don't question the process, because that process is robust. And think of it just statistically. If the one odd machine in a million goes wrong, it's just down to error. It's a mechanical error. It doesn't mean that the process is being rigged. There is not at this moment a shred of evidence to suggest that EVMs can be tampered with, and a lot of the EVMs which are floating around just happen to be reserved EVMs. Maybe they should have told political parties before moving them. All that can be held true, but it's not as if this process is being rigged. And if it was, then all those opposition leaders who came on our show just after the exit polls came out, what were you thinking at that time if the EVMs were not rigged in December? How did they get rigged now? Think about it. Everyone takes his own decision. I don't for a moment believe that EVMs can be rigged or manipulated. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've got one more day to go. before big counting day. We got multiple other very interesting, fascinating insights emerging from this post-poll study. We'll track that. We'll track all the political conversation right here. To all our guests for joining us, thank you very much. We'll have more for you on the other side. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.